at you, America. Welcome to the Tong, where our loyalty lies only with warrior, and they will scrap only if I give them the order. And you feeling itchy, you got something to say? Just know we hop this way. Nobody else is suited for this other than us. I know it's crazy, but we work with it and don't give up. Welcome to the show. If you don't know the name, we call it Hop This Way.
Welcome back to all the itchy onions out there. It is your favorite Tong, the Tong of Tongs, the Hop This Way Tong. With your boy Zeus here. And of course, we got Money Matt Chewer beside me here. I don't know if like the money thing's just sticking. I'm sorry. I need to find something different for you. But it's money. You are money, buddy.
You're fucking right I am.
Well, good. You get to nickname the person to your left then.
You are the warrior connect herself. There you go. You are the Dub C. It is Rebecca Nishi. What up? What up? What up?
Hello.
You like that? That was off the fly.
That's not bad. Now everybody's being put on the spot. Now you get to go on for and well, say something nice about yourself, and then introduce the gentleman down below, if you will, giving him a nickname.
Well, I'm just nerd geeking around, and Mr. Frank is our Sifu, our martial arts specialist.
Oh man.
Wow. Sifu.
How are you, Sifu?
I'd like it. Sifu Frank.
Well, I don't know.
Frank, that means it's your turn now. And then you
All right, I was thinking of Stephanie's nickname. All right, so hey everybody, how's everyone doing? Good to be out here. And I'm gonna turn it over to the Hopper who will smack ya.
Aloha. Yeah, no, I'm in the bean. I'm not in Hawaii, unfortunately.
Yeah, we don't feel bad.
But I did dress up a little bit, and I actually brushed my hair and actually wore a little faux fur stole with some Bruce.
Wow.
I was like, wait, what?
I love that picture. Love that picture.
The shenanigans that happen over here, never ending.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, folks. And
We gotta introduce you. We gotta introduce you.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
The man with
Steph,
the thunder
you gotta
and
go
lightning.
introduce
I
him.
know. The man himself, the connector of connectors, Zeus.
I don't
My
know what that
fellow
was, but that's my connecting.
Connector.
The god of Olympus.
Well, thank you very much. I'll take it. And yeah, that was Improv 101 there, folks. Thank you so much. Welcome to the show where we review the show that brought us all together, really. And all of us met on the Warrior Facebook group run by Brian. I don't know Brian's last name, but yay, Brian.
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 Brian,
wherever you are.
for the page there. But we review the show Warrior because we love it so much, and it's a show that deserves it. And hey, we fought for it. We all got it back, and hey, let's just keep this train rolling. And this week we are on season 2, episode 4. And I love the show, but why are the names so long? The episodes.
I read the title every time.
What's that?
For some reason, I read this title in Mylene's voice every time for this episode.
Yeah, which is weird because she's not the one who actually says it in this episode.
Yeah.
The line is, "If you don't see blood, you didn't come to play," and that's the line that's said by Sophie's boyfriend or her date that she
Her
brings to
date,
the banshee. Yeah.
Failing date.
So, well, tell us a bit about this, Rebecca. What did you think about the open here and the big date?
Well, she was aimed to fail. She was determined to fail the date. She didn't want him to look for her anymore. She was just on a date because her sister almost obligated her, and she brought him exactly to Banshee, which is Lyri's bar. And as he wasn't there, she just brought him to the fight contest. Or I don't know how to call that. Just
Just to
to, I
fight.
mean, bad impress him. It's not like to make a good impression. She wanted to bad impress
She
him.
used her
And
date.
he reappears to save the night.
Yeah, Larry shows up, and then
Oh, he
yeah,
shows up all
that's
right.
different.
She shows up a lot.
Oh, he shows up and shows
A
out.
lot. A lot.
Oh, see,
John, how you doing, buddy?
Sophie only used that as she used her
Hi,
date,
Sean.
totally used him as a tool to go to Banshee.
Yeah,
That was
just to
she
see
had her
Larry.
that's the only reason why she accepted the date was to use him to escort her to Banshee. Yeah, it was very obvious. I do have some like, Sophie spoiled entitled girl issues. I really do. She's
Yeah,
such a
you're not.
shit starter.
She really is.
She wanted to make the man fight for her. She wanted to do that.
Here.
On.
What's up,
Hello,
Sean?
Sean.
And I almost felt like she wanted to see Leary, but two, this was just her way to get rid of this guy and be like, yo, no matter what, you're not gonna like the type of girl I am.
Yeah,
And maybe
exactly.
surprise me. Maybe I am. Maybe if he would
yeah.
have been more like Leary, it'd be that way. But no, this was a pretty, I don't know, a pretty aggressive move on her part, which seems to be the way it is with her from the beginning. What did you think, Matt?
I mean, it's exactly what we've been saying. She uses poor unfortunate soul to get what she really wanted. The man himself, Leary, all by herself, and
And she
scare
did.
this poor this poor and be like, nah, I can't have you courting me anymore. I found this big strapping hunk who
And the look on her face when they had her right there in the middle of the two of them, and she was just loving it. She's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm eating this up."
That's not the only time we see her make that face in this episode.
I love low key how we're shading all this.
I mean,
she got some stickers.
Yeah.
You know what? She got lucky. She saw the moves of Jagger.
oh, look at you going on,
good.
Adam Levine.
Oh, I see
was
what
good.
time we're on today. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I see what we're all doing.
Glad to see I wasn't the only one who had a pre-show smoke.
I just thought it was funny how Leary was just shaking the date's hand, just like, have you ever felt what it's like to sink your knuckles into another man's face? Feel the blood run down your fingers. Just that rush.
You could fuck your entire life and never feel a rush like this.
Not much
Like, oh
The
my
guy just
God.
says, "Okay,
I'm gonna go
I'll home. I gotta leave."
And she's like, yeah. And she's like, peace.
Joking.
Peace out. I'll find my own way. I mean, yeah, good for her and Dylan, I guess. But
I can't.
you can't. I know, right? Like,
I just
are
can't.
we supposed to like these characters? Like, I love the actors and I love how these characters make me feel. Like, I feel they're written really well. But God, I hate them. Like, I feel like I hate them almost as much as I hate the mayor.
So
I mean-
sabotage your own family. Come on.
Yeah,
Oh.
just because the sister said she doesn't do anything, she just go there and blow up the whole family business. Also, she says to her sister that she didn't ask her to marry the mayor, didn't ask her to save the factory. Like what?
Chaos bringer.
No, you live in this ivory palace, and you live here too. Do you want to live there in Banshee with Leary? Okay, go ahead.
Right. And almost another good part about this episode too was that open we see with Diane and Olivia.
Yeah, I mentioned that
the
last
first
week because I
thing-
totally forgot because I kept binging. That's the one that I meant. Because
we were bleeding episode 4 into episode 3.
We were a little bit. We were. I caught it. I was letting it go. I didn't care.
It was
We were
good.
all over the place.
It was a good
It was
discussion.
good.
We
We
kept
were
it
having
moving.
fun. Yeah. Well, here we've got a clip. Let's watch along from the first meeting here between the two.
Season 2, you never see Myling around women. That energy is lacking in my life. So when Atoy and Myling meet, it's not necessarily two cats kind of clawing at each other. There's a bit of ice, and I believe the point of that scene was to establish respect.
Okay, but I'm gonna call a little bit of bullshit on Diane's thing because Myling was throwing a little when she was like, "Yo, you ain't gonna bow to me?
Right.
Yep.
You're not gonna respect me."
that was a
And
power
Toy's
trip.
like,
That was a
All
"All
power
right, like I'm a bow, but I'll fucking stab you." Like, all right.
Well, and she almost bows, showing her little needler that she keeps in her hair.
Needler.
Yeah.
I
And you
Needler.
always
Needler. I
defend
didn't even
Myling.
know her. Bad joke.
Could also be just a bit of Mylene trying it out. It's like, I don't know if Atoy's going to have any deference, but I'm going to try.
Yeah.
On the way out, just like, let's see how high I can take this thing.
Well,
But I really like this scene though. I really did with
Keep
like
talking.
the two,
Atoy.
with the two. There you go. Hold on.
yeah. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
No, so I just really love like this is like the first initial meeting of like these
I've heard
two
so much about
badass
you.
women who really
Feels like
hold
we've
their
already met.
shit throughout the
A lot about
entire
you,
show,
Myling.
and to have this
Then you
face
do
to
know
face
who I am.
like meeting. Oh, it when I first
course.
watched it.
Everyone does.
Oof.
I was like,
Most of them offer
I'm like, who's going to
evenly
give here?
the
Is what I was thinking the first time I saw it. You
Everyone
know,
But you.
I didn't think
Have I offended you
a toy
somehow?
was really going to bow. Like I remember that first
didn't-
season thinking like,
I
oh my
didn't
god, they're
think
gonna
so
fight,
either.
like right now.
She's
Like you see,
intelligent.
she's got her big bodyguard
Of course
behind her
not.
there.
And she's got, and
I was
Mylene's got to be able
distracted by
to
the
just staring at each other too.
Yeah.
Please accept my
And she
deepest
stays in
apologies. I meant no
Hopway's
disrespect.
side of Chinatown, so
Yeah.
I don't think she would be
Fucking cross.
retaliated, but she just decided not to fight Myling now.
Yo, good
See,
catch
one
on that
Enjoy your
thing,
day.
Zeus. I actually did not catch that until you pointed that out.
When she bowed down,
Yeah, the
the piece in
Yeah,
her
the
hair.
thing-
the thing in her head. I
Yeah.
didn't catch that. That
Oh,
that
yeah, I
was,
saw
that
Hasn't
was
she
a good
stabbed
find.
somebody with that before, right? Like she's used that
Almost
before.
like show up her
I think.
fang.
Yeah,
That
when
was a good
like
find. I like that.
arrived, you know, a curiosity, and when season 2 was playing or Cinemax, Olivia made some lives after the episodes and interviewed some of the cast. And when she interviewed Tobin, Jason Tobin, he said that another character that he would love to play in Warrior would be a toy. And he mentioned that this scene. He said, "I would love to make that scene. You staring at each other, like you know."
Yeah, that
Yeah.
scene was intense.
See,
Very
that
strong scene.
that scene to me shows a big difference between the two of them, because Atoy definitely comes across as the more seasoned gangster chick. You know, she has more restraint. So even though they're
Yeah.
both playing it cool, Atoy shows that she's had to learn that restraint. She knows that she's got to pull it back in, be diplomatic, put a smile on her face, right? But even though Myling has, she plays it cool, we already know that there are things that she's done that are kind of reactionary. There are still growing pains and moves that she's done that, are more risky or have thrown her, in harm's way or, inflamed situations. Atoy is much more seasoned than that. She plays it much more carefully. And that is what I see in that scene.
Yeah, because you saying that reminds me that she's this sword woman, and the dog that is noisy doesn't bite. So my link is not all that noisy. Not that it's not a fighter or anything, but Atoy knows she's this sword woman. She can't fight anyone, so she doesn't have to accept the um, provocation.
I think if I want to see anything from season 3, I want more interactions with Mai Ling and Atoy.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
I mean, we only got a couple for season 2, but
I want to see them.
I want to see them.
Because
Ooh.
Miley hasn't shown any ability yet.
Eileen?
Well,
not,
all we really
no.
seen was when she fought Bolo, and she was getting her ass whooped. But
And she has that
She was doing
little
well.
gun she bought
Does
from
have that.
Chow
Yeah.
that she
somebody there we're losing.
Give me 1 second. Something's happening with my microphone. Be right back.
Yeah, no worries.
Do you?
Yeah, I remember.
Moving.
I just remember like Zeus. You remember you talked about how a lot of these actors are really good at non-verbally communicating with their eyes. Like there was a lot going on in that scene too, like when they were doing that. Because that's where I kind of picked up. Maybe Mylene was trying to just like see how far she could push something, because it felt like that's what her eyes were communicating at that moment. It's like, yeah, I don't know. She might be the bigger fish in the pond right now, but I'm gonna see. I'm the same thing I'm gonna see. So. And it's almost like Toy's expression was more of this is my interpretation. It's like her expression in that moment was more of she's gonna try. I'm gonna try to lure her in a little bit. I'm gonna see what she does. I'm not gonna try to snuff her out just yet. Because really, like, she's on the side with more power. She's on the Hopway side.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think that's
so she doesn't really probably have to do that, right? Like worst case, she might get a stern talking to from Father June for not doing it.
Right.
But if you really think about it, it's like, what can Mylene really do to her directly? She can't really.
Yeah, not without starting a war.
Yeah.
We don't know. Does she kind of really want that war though, right? Because we've seen her interactions with Buckley last episode, and him being straight with her, like, listen, I'm basically paying you for a war.
Flooding the streets instead, yeah.
And we're not getting that. So another, you were talking about I didn't mean to bring this back to my compliment, but back to the eye acting though. This episode, my God, Kieran Bew, like when he has so many different moments in this episode where he breaks down, or where you see he's got that internal struggle going on with what he did. Like, he's realizing the cause and effect and realizing that he is the cause that's made that whole effect around him. The kids being gone, almost being murdered last episode, and his wife basically telling him, we're not coming back.
You made me a murderer.
Yeah, right. You made me a murderer. Wow, right.
That line.
It's kind of the moment he lost
great
everything.
acting.
Yeah. It's kind of the moment that he lost everything, right? Or the scene that he lost everything.
And he lost Lee just a few minutes after.
Yeah. And speaking of Lee had it rough this one too.
Yeah.
And we saw maybe the first time I don't know, where you're like, oh, come on, not you, Atoy. Because, like, hey, her and Chow talking, like, hey, so he likes the sweet stuff. Well, is he a regular? He will be. So, I mean,
she's a businesswoman.
Yeah. I remember watching that and thinking, because that was right after that scene with Mylene. I was like, and I remember watching that and thinking, nope, she's still in control. Like, she has a lot of stuff going on. She's still in control. Because like she was good at making you kind of wonder for a second, right? So, is she really going to bow to this younger, lower ranked, gangster queen, I guess. But yeah, when she did that, and the way they shot it, the way to make her kind of like fade away from the camera, the hat kind of covering half her face, I'm like, huh. It
Yeah.
almost made her look like a sinister enchantress. So I was kind of like, huh, okay, there's still a lot more to her.
All right. Still a lot more to the show here. There's another thing that stood out to me. Let me know what you guys think.
Tong likes cock, huh? Oh, yeah. In every fucking home.
Yep.
He's like a sword fighter.
And I love Hong
Already.
I like that. I like
eating
that.
the soup calmly.
The
That
finger?
was great.
Fucking with me, and it would be a very bad idea to fuck with me.
He can't hear you.
Get me?
He can't hear you.
I just love this casually.
Just
Love this.
Right here.
Oh. Breakfast.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I love that one. Breakfast.
That was my low key favorite scene of the whole episode. Just he's gonna whoop someone's
get
ass during
me?
breakfast, and it's just like,
Yeah.
no, don't move, don't do shit. Let him whip his ass, or I'll whip your ass. And then
And that
it
was
was
a
like,
shout
oh,
out to Bruce Lee too, as well, though, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, that was
All over the place.
It
that was
wasn't
subtly
subtle. It
not
wasn't
subtle.
subtle.
That was
Yeah.
subtly not subtle at all. But of course, Jason again with the fun little one-liners. Breakfast.
Right.
What
Yeah.
the fuck is going on here?
I guess oddly enough, we don't give enough credit to Koji for the way he's able to take that on. Like, it's kind of weird that he's the most famous one, but he kind of doesn't get enough credit because he doesn't actually try to be like Bruce Lee. But he kind of is. But he kind of isn't.
That's got to be a hard balancing act to be like, okay, you're the main character. You gotta have like Bruce Lee mannerisms, but it can't be full on Bruce Lee. You gotta be, this character, but we're gonna give little subtle nods to Bruce Lee, but then it's got to be like this own thing, and it's just like, oh, the balancing act that
gotta be like
Andrew does.
Not like him.
It's wild to me as an actor, and I can't even imagine like some of the pressures that he must endure like off screen, and like whatever he has to do to get mentally prepared to be like, fuck, I got to do this,
That's just it too, right? Like, it's not just getting the lines down or getting into character. It's also, he's also learning a lot of this martial arts on the go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's got to be so tough. Like, imagine, like, Matt, you get it, like trying to hit your mark or hit a certain mark on a spot, and then still having to remember to keep the proper form so that Joe Blow fucking third degree fucking black belt who's watching online isn't criticizing your form later, right?
Yeah, because it's just like, what essentially what you're doing is you're being a character, and you're trying to make it as authentic as possible. So like you might go into a role where you've never learned any type of like fighting before. You've never learned any type of like, say, skill, like your character is like a pianist, like a famous pianist or something like that. And so you go into this and you got to make sure, like, granted, you might have only had like maybe 4 or 5 months training, but you got to make that shit look like you've been, like, not you personally, but like your character has been doing it for years. And it's when you do things like that, it's a little taxing on like your your head to be like, I gotta get this right, and I gotta be truthful to whatever this character is. I gotta be truthful to like myself to try and bring this together. I gotta be to whoever else is like actually doing that in real life. I gotta make sure that they look at me like I'm authentic enough, and it's shit like that where it gets really, really tricky, and that's like the darker side of like the acting thing.
Yeah, because I mean, if you fuck up, portraying somebody, you might get slapped on stage one day by Will Smith. Too soon?
Actually, he was a stunt before, but his background was Taekwondo. He had never Andrew Koji.
Oh,
Yeah, I know that.
He had
it's like Will Smith.
no Will Smith. No, he
Yeah, but
had
yeah, it's
never.
different than what he's doing now, though, right? Like, isn't it
Yeah,
closer to
and
Wing Chun?
when I saw the scene when he's training on that wood uh, at Dam, how do you call that?
Mokjang, yeah. Mokjang. I think it's Mokjang.
Yeah,
Sorry
it's
to my
very
Wing Chun
good.
friends for saying that
Actually,
wrong.
it's very precise moves. He's very people
Exactly,
sometimes
John.
criticize him on his kung fu, but he's acting. He's not he's not a kung fu martial art artist, and I have to credit him that when I saw him, I really was excited to watch the show because when you see we all see things made about Bruce Lee, the
Fred.
bi- bios and all these things, not always are good. They I don't know some movies, some bio series are so bad, and when I saw Koji, I bought it.
Yeah.
He sold me well. So
Mhm.
I have to credit him. When I saw the first episode, I was like very excited. He just really stood for the role.
I can't wait to see Bullet Train, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sean brought up an interesting point who popped up on the Facebook really quick about the comments. Like, granted, we were talking about the actor portion of it, but yeah, like the stunt team. So like Brett and like the patience and like that he has to do in order to like teach, like, people who maybe had little training, people who maybe had like extensive training, zero training, like to have the patience to be like, okay, here's how we're going to get through this, and then the months that he has to put in to like make sure that that's right, because not only it's got to be stressful for him too, because it's like, how well I'm saying we as like actors, because I'm an actor or whatever, and so it's like it's got to be stressful to see like how much we have to get down perfectly, because it's uh we're a reflection of his, like I'm using Brett for an example of like his teaching to us to make it look that authentic on screen and to make it look that good. So it's just like it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure from everybody, I bet you. And it's just like, they pull that fucking shit together and it looks so good. It looks so
Because
good.
they're so
Yeah.
good. Because that's them, though. They are that good. Um, talk about good. This episode. This was an intense episode as well. Now we showed so much from the beginning. There's another part I wanted to talk about, to piggyback on something you had mentioned earlier, Rebecca, and you were talking about Mai Ling and just kind of the extremes she's going. And you look at the opening sequence. I think it was the opening sequence, but one of the earlier sequences where she goes into an establishment and offers to pay them a loan, but offers them a lot more, and basically starts racketeering them, you know, wanting protection money. And you can see this isn't the first time she's done something like this. And every time this happens and she does this in front of Joe, you can see Taslim's like, yo, like, this
Yep.
isn't how we do business. This is not how we do business. And you can start seeing cracks, in the firmament, if you will. That's the bond that the two of them have. So I don't know. What do you guys what did you guys make of that? And aside from that as well, what else stood out from this episode for you?
I think not Joe, Young Jun is a little bit old fashioned, and he thinks the things have to be like they were before. Like when Long Z just started, and she's quite an entrepreneur. She um, making new things. Some things might sound stupid, like Father June keeps saying she's doing stupid things, and she will like going high, and she's gonna have a bad fall. fall because she's going where she can't be. And sometimes I think young Jude thinks that, but I thought was reasonable what she said, that when the police decide to end the tongs, she has to have legit
Legit.
business,
You got that legit, yeah.
legit
Legit.
business. So yeah, I think she's being smart. And Lee Young, I'm sorry, Lee Young is just too old fashioned and too just, I'm just a fighter, you know. He's not a businessman. She is a businesswoman.
She definitely is. Maddie?
And notice how Atoy, we already know that Atoy is, making moves to have legitimate property. So she's ahead of Myling in that way. And she's that undercover, businesswoman. She's got all that stuff in line. I just have to say, of course, her eye makeup was just badass. Badass. When they
Even I
zoom
had
in and she's
noticed
got
that.
the
I was like, wow, that's
silver
on point.
and the blue. She's so gorgeous. Oh my goodness.
Right.
I love her.
Yes,
Anyway.
And
I
I'll
love
keep
that
saying it till it happens.
I
I'll keep
love
saying
that
it till it happens. Go ahead, sorry.
in a show ran by men, all about martial arts. Women are so powerful.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Let's and let's kind of piggyback onto that, and let's talk a little bit about not Mrs. Mercer, but
Davenport?
Mrs. Davenport. Well, there was also
Penny.
Penny, but yeah, Davenport, which I was trying to find the picture we had of her, but we don't seem to have it here. Anyways, let's talk about Miss Davenport and her and a toy, and a toy actually showing her that she is a person of her word, that her brothel, the women that are there are free to come and go as they please.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Davenport digesting it and observing it, and she's ahead of her time, compared to everybody else, and so is Atoy. So it makes sense that they could collaborate as smart businesswomen, but they're finally getting to trust each other. Yeah, and like you said, you actually see that they're true to each other's word. So that was very interesting, and of course, where it keeps going. Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, and like a toy,
Davenport,
like
she's a tough chick, but she also shows that she takes action. Do you know what I mean? She's that proper one, but she's still the little bit of the rabble rouser. So you
Frank,
need this.
how was her Mandarin?
Oh, it wasn't Mandarin; it was Cantonese.
Oh,
So I couldn't judge that.
well, damn. Did it
It
sound
wasn't
good?
bad. I mean, I'm not fluent. I mean, I have smatterings, but it was decent.
It sounded like it had the tones that I recognize when I hear Cantonese as a non-Cantonese speaker, but that's all I've got for that. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because I remember up to this point, because I guess we're reviewing these episodes, I always got to try to put my head where it was when I was first watching this season, right? So I remember looking at this character and wondering, okay, how are they going to take this, right? Because we talked about, I'm sure we've all thought about, a lot of us who looked at it, we thought, it's a different type of white savior trope, right? But
right.
But I think that this one started making things a little bit more towards, all right, the show is it's going to kind of do the thing here. Yeah, and I guess we see where it leads to later. But so that was a bit of a twist later. But it seems like right now, because I believe Natalie Davenport is also based off of, or maybe inspired by Donatella Cameron's efforts, right? So they're trying to probably keep it as.
I don't know who that is. Who is that? If people are like, for those that are unaware,
She was involved in just a very simple summary, because that's all I remember. But she was a head of a church group, I believe, white lady. She was also there she was saving some of the prostitutes and going to and putting them, doing different things for them in their own house. So she was a white one from during the 1870s, I think, in San Francisco.
Nice. Well, that's cool. I did not know that. So now we all know a little bit more. And now I want to ask JT
Olivia-
about that. If
Actually,
JT's never on the show, I'm going to ask.
Olivia Chung, I heard her refer to that in one of the post-episode interviews. So
Yeah, I think
I
I saw
think-
caught that.
I think the sonormal forms really existed
Hmm.
also.
All right, let's take a look at another clip here, folks, and let's do the commentary as we watch along.
Leary at the point where he's actually becoming something of a labor terrorist, planting bombs in factories that employ Chinese
Yeah,
labor.
run.
Things are really being stirred to
Right.
a boil.
Oh shit!
That's Lonnie Peristeri thing.
What's that?
what?
The director of this episode, Lonnie Peristeri.
Oh, okay.
He's a visual effects specialist.
Oh, I thought you meant they were
Supervisor.
talking. I was like, no, that's JT.
But we want to bring him to the show, right, Lonnie?
We definitely do. We
Mhm.
want them all to come to the show. Yeah. So what did you think about that? Obviously, that was Sophie basically selling out her sister and her father's legacy to Leary, and knowing full well what was going to happen. And then at the end of it all, she's feeling guilt and remorse. Are we like? I didn't know how we're supposed to feel for her afterwards.
She's scared for sure.
She's acting like a child. She's acting like a spoiled child. She gets to act how she wants with no repercussions, and she's reactionary. So she reacts like, Rebecca said, to her sister scolding her, and look what she does. She completely sabotages her family, and then you're crying afterwards. So you're feeling guilty after you just no. You knew what you were doing. Okay. So she's looking at the map. She's looking at which ones are targets. Then she makes her way over there and says, I can bring you there. We can go now. Like,
And it's
she did
not-
it.
It's not like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
When the
Nope.
bad guys do something that is reversible, or you don't really hurt people. She
Yep.
saw people dying in front of her. She saw Lyric killing guys, and she was like in a catharsis, like couldn't move.
But
Yeah,
I guess
Mhm.
it's pretty. Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
I was going to say this was the episode where I really start to despise her character, right? And shows how good that actress was to make me despise her character that strongly, because there were a lot of things she just represented so much that was hypocritical and harmful, right? Because when she was talking about how they should, there were a few things, right? She was talking about how she thinks that Penny looks down on the Irish laborers, but then she helps to break into a factory where there were Chinese people guardians. So, you didn't care about those lives, right?
Mhm.
So, and the other thing was when she was talking about how Penny was in her ivory tower, she kind of follows it up what she says right before. She talks about how angry she is that she said, I didn't tell you to marry that walrus. So basically she was saying still focused on how she was still focused on the mayor's appearance, and she never really thought about the fact that for that moment, for that time, it was a marriage out of necessity for Penny.
Yeah.
So she doesn't appreciate what her sister's trying to do for her. She doesn't appreciate the value of that factory, right? Definitely didn't appreciate the Chinese people who were killed guarding that factory, right?
She's playing a game.
Is playing a game. Yeah, she's playing a game. She doesn't care about anything else but whatever her own feelings of the moment are, and she has all her advantages and all her privileges. So whatever she does, it ends up, well, in this case, getting stuff blown up, literally.
Yep.
Chua, I'm going to show you a picture. I want you to give me a reaction.
Oh, what are we gonna do now? Because okay.
Oh yeah.
Last time you did this.
Oh, you thought it was going to be spandex?
Gorilla.
Last time we did this shit last season, I got.
You did get got.
That that just brought me to an interesting thing. There's something about this episode where it was like these Batman versus I know we go back to DC all the time where it's like Batman versus Superman, Cap versus Iron Man type of like epitomes of these meets, of these like face-to-face things where it's just like, oh, because again, you have Leary, the top Irishman who's like running things on that end of the spectrum versus Assam. And again, the same way that conversation was with this, like in the same way that Atoy and My Ling had it, like it was just verbal jabs after verbal jabs, trying to feel out how that person is and how they react to this, and let me see like if I can get the one up on it. And again, it was kind of the same. I would say it was almost like dead even again, because Leary's like, I'm about to fuck shit up, and he's like, I'm right here, I'm gonna be here in the fancy fucking suit, I'm here, like I bring this shit.
Yep.
And
I don't know. See,
but see, Leary played the bigger, but see where Atoy, played bigger end, where she eventually bowed low to My Ling, still kind of playing it like, all right, you know what, you got that, I'm gonna let you have this for now. Leary kind of did the same shit in a way. So I mean, if there really was like a quote unquote winner, like he kind of was like, all right, no, you got that. He looked around, told his boys, let's go, and he kept it moving. He's just like, no, you can have this for now.
But look at his fists.
Yeah.
So I think the parallel dynamic of the brother and sister thinking that they had the bigger end and they actually did not is really interesting.
Well, you know what it reminds me of? All those meetings, Atoy and My Ling, Leary and Assam. It reminds me of, have you guys ever seen Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro?
No.
And their first meeting in like the face-to-face.
The diner, right? The diner scene?
The diner scene, which they never were actually in the diner together and filmed that together, which is always funny to me.
Wait, wasn't Val Kilmer in that too?
Val Kilmer was definitely in that.
Yeah.
But let's take a look at our little Heat moment.
Assam.
You and me. We have some unfinished business, Assam.
Well, when you're ready, come and find me. I'll be the chink in the fancy fucking suit.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That doesn't even give that scene enough credit because that scene was so intense.
Do I look like I want your fucking jobs?
Yeah,
right.
That was what I wanted to mention.
See,
I want to lose money.
Assam is the one who can handle it verbally, so he's got the jabs that he can actually, spar with Leary, in this situation because he speaks English, right? But there's a level that even though Leary has the bulk that we know, okay, and even, further in the scene, you can see his fist, that whole posture of him just standing there like, they're ready to go.
They even made a close-up on his face.
Yeah. Gorilla, right? But then again, you look at Assam's appearance and he's laid back. He basically, challenges him right back, says, I don't want your fucking job. So, I mean, his composure is so much more relaxed and chill, and he's not backing down from it. So, even though you've got the bulk, you've got the, quote, gorilla that is Leary, I still think Assam wins in that one because his chill is it just doesn't budge. Do you know what I mean? It just does not budge.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate though on this.
Damn.
I have to, because despite, and again, we've seen Leary's hatred for anything not Irish whatsoever. The fact that he had every opportunity to get him whenever he wanted and he still didn't, and then he was like, all right, I'm gonna let you be, I'm gonna let you get this, and he kept it moving. Like, that shows a lot of self-composure as well, to the fact that, like, I'm here, I really fucking hate you, but I ain't gonna do nothing about it. I'm gonna let you be. I'm gonna let this happen.
But
two alphas.
He mentioned earlier though to Sophie that she's like, "Oh, you haven't hit the place because of me," and he's like, "No, if I let my emotions get in the way, I wouldn't have been able to do what I did back in the war."
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like,
that brings me to an interesting point.
Oh yeah.
When he this is the first episode. This is the first time that we actually see Leary kind of like crack and not do his usual like face to face, confrontations of people that he is not a fan of. Like this is the first time where he goes and does his little,
he does at
little
the
sneak
end,
attacks. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This
Like,
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not at the end, but
not yet. No. The one where he actually like blows
Yeah.
up the place. Like that's the first time where it's like he kind of goes against that code that he kind of has, and it's all because the fucking sister got him in. You ain't gonna do nothing about it, man. I got this way. You ain't gonna do shit. It's just like
true.
Fuck.
But see, he then proceeded to show his hand and not show his hand, but when the police chief came and spoke to him, he kind of insinuated, yeah, well, I'd be in cuffs now if you had any evidence. So he's not really hiding.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
He's
He's
not
like
a dumb man either.
Well, by that time, he's just like, well, I already fucking did it. So, like, what are you
everybody knows
gonna
I
do
did
about
it.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do about it? But I mean, like, again, it's that rare case where, I mean, he did what he did, when by you're like, oh, okay, you know what, you want to do this shit, fine. I'm gonna handle it my way anyway. So he takes full responsibility of everything he does, and he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in. But it's that. Would he have actually done it at all if the sister didn't get involved? It's one of those.
Well, no, because he wouldn't have known about the other way to get in.
The other tunnel.
Right?
And that leads us to the molasses being torched, and then Hong cracks me up.
Always eating Hong.
Hong cracks me up.
Well, we already watched that scene, right? Oh yeah. Wait, but what happened? What else does it happen in this episode with?
Where he wasn't it in this episode, or is it the next one where he actually basically shows Young Jun and Assam that he knows what's up?
Oh no, that was the last. With the molasses. That's next episode. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
is what happens when I re-binge.
I know that's the hardest thing about re-binging this show.
I know
is you can't actually binge it. Like we have to watch it one episode at a time to watch it.
But I think Bill gets the MVP of this low-key MVP of this episode as well, with everything that he's done.
Oh my God, like I said, I can't say enough about Kieran's acting.
He's a Shakespearean actor. He's a stage actor as well. He's not a regular actor.
Yeah. He also seemed to be the most excited in that announcement video that they were being back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was so cute. That was cute. That was so cute.
Oh yeah.
I heard he saying once in a live on Instagram that he loves playing Bill. He said, "What can I do? I just love playing Bill. I just want Warrior to come back."
He's such a hard character. He's such a hard character to get an emotional feel for, because he's an awful person for everything basically, but you kind of love him because he's trying to do good, even though let's face it, he's racist, and he's trying to learn not to be racist anymore, though, but he's worked for the Feng Hai, and that got his family and all this danger, and I don't know.
He's a screw up, but he tries to keep his family,
He's still a mushy dad. Definitely a mushy dad,
Yeah.
Very layered. His character is so layered.
My favorite couple in the show is Bill and Lucy, because they are the real ones. real
Yeah.
ones.
Mhm.
The other ones are like passion, or
Well,
they are the real couple.
well, she
Very
left
much
Very
him
so.
true.
after the last episode. She left
I
him
hope
last
she come back.
episode. But yeah, and we had her on the show. Great woman.
Shout outs to Emily.
Oh,
What
Emily
up?
can you
Child.
imagine if we get her and Bill on the show? Oh, that'd be
Oh my
awesome.
God. Let's just bring the whole cast. You know what? Let's just
I
do a cast
know.
party, okay? Bring everybody on. You're all invited. I'll flip the bill. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
Hun Lee has not looked at my Instagram message yet. Like, you need to come on our show. You need to
Speaking of
come on our
home,
He's
show.
busy though. He's
speaking
I
of home,
know.
he's
DMX. Have you guys
busy.
watched DMX?
I mean,
I
I've
mean
seen
DMZ.
DMX plenty of times. You
DMZ.
mean
DMZ.
DMZ?
DMZ. That's what I meant.
DMX. I watched. I'm like, which video? Which
No one
video?
knows that. You know what I mean? I've never seen DMZ, you know? What knows that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about Rosario Dawson. That's the worst.
He's
DMX.
like mining in pen.
All right,
DMZ, yeah.
DMX.
Anyway, speaking of Hun Lee,
Wow.
where he
Love
actually,
you too, Jonathan Ryan. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Jonathan. But speaking of Hun Lee, when he and Atoy have this fun little meeting about, hey, I think I can help you if you can help me. And they try to pin the fun little swordsman on Zing.
Mm-hmm. She says, it's not a favor if you get something out of it. She's like, that's the best part.
Yeah, I love their banter. I love them all together. Like they are so good. They are the hustlers. They are the main players in the hustlers. Rosalita, Nelly. But it's just so great. This honestly, the show. I can't just keep saying this show is so great because I say it every week and it's getting to lose its meaning. But it's so
Because it's
fucking
true.
great.
You have a fucking
But
show
I mean-
based on part of the Tong's name.
I know.
Like, come on now.
Obviously, we love
we all
it.
got together here because of the show that we all love and watch.
Listen, the ultimate is obviously to get like these three on the show at some point. That would be like wow. But I mean, all of us need to be sporting these soon.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God.
Like-
let
We
me
really
scroll
do.
so much.
And I'm just saying it now. I get to wear the bolo.
You can have that. That's you. You got that. Because you're his bestie. What up, Rich?
Shut
But
it.
I swear, until
you
we,
gotta
because of
come
course,
back too, buddy.
He has to
We're
have
bringing him back.
breakfast.
Richie will be back. But yeah.
we need to work on this wardrobe.
The wardrobe's coming. Merch is coming, folks. Merch.
Would anybody
I mean-
would anybody rock any hop this way merch? Let us know. I'm curious to see.
Listen. I'm
You know
already.
I'll be
oh my
rocking
God,
mine.
Matt, I'm already seeing it. We do like the Run DMC, but then
Oh, yes.
instead of walk this way, like from Aerosmith, it's hop this way.
See, that's perfect. That's perfect. That's perfect.
I went from
The old,
doing, like,
the old chick
80s,
says
like,
that's perfect.
80s hip hop dancing to like somehow doing the Dougie. I think. I don't even know if that's a Dougie. That was just a Justin Bieber thing I seen him do one.
I'll tell you.
And then I
what.
saw Kate Upton do it like 30,000 times. The same video, but I watched it a lot.
I'll tell you what. If there is enough interest of potential hop this way merch that people want, we'll discuss the whatever you just did.
All proceeds go to us.
Merch
I mean-
Dougie says we're gonna do it. I'm the merch Dougie because I'm a shopaholic and I have to have all the hoodies. I have hoodie issues. So yes, we need to rock our merch.
Wait, you got a whole shitload of hoodies? Is that just your wardrobe for Boston?
Well,
I gotta assume like they don't have much use in Hawaii.
yes, they do. Oh, you should have seen me up in the forest. Okay, don't laugh, but I felt hoodie restricted when I only had 4 on rotation. in the jungle. So no, it actually does get pretty cool there. I have a stupid amount of hoodies.
I'm still looking for the part where we're gonna feel bad for you there.
I love them. They all have a message. They all represent.
Right,
And I
right.
love all of, the causes and messages and so on. So we need ours. I'll obsessively be wearing it. We need a couple of variations. Matt, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this.
Think about it.
We got to recreate that picture within the same suits, with the crew that's on for a season.
Yeah,
I'll think about it. What do you people think out there in live broadcast land / YouTube land / maybe if you don't even want to watch it, you can listen. Anybody out there in podcast land, do you guys actually want Hop This Way merch? I'm curious.
First of all,
curious.
Hop this way. Hop this way.
But all right, we're getting sidetracked. Is there anything else in the episode that we need to recap, review, or anything like that?
We got everything there. We got everything there. Oh, we did watch this part. Yeah, we watched the Assam and Larry. We watched the explosion. I think we're pretty good. We even got to see JT talk a little bit. So,
for those who haven't seen JT's story, which I'm pretty sure has disappeared. So for anybody who might this be new to, he has done a screenshot of episode 301.
Yeah.
And it's titled Zeus. Do you not know about this?
No.
How could you not see this? You're too busy today.
Buddy.
You're too busy
what
today.
happened? Yeah, sorry.
It was working.
It's actually on our Hop This Way Instagram. It's on our story actually. He has Warrior episode 301, exactly the wrong time to get proud. Written by Jonathan Tropper, first draft, March 14th, 2022.
No, give me more. What is it called?
Just got me more anxious. It's on
it's
Facebook.
called,
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking.
Exactly the wrong time to get proud is the tentative title for episode 301.
More anxious than not knowing anything.
He's in there. He's writing now. He's.
So we know that that's a line from that episode. We've all watched this enough to know.
Who said that?
Yeah. Should we do a little theorizing as to what episode 1 of season 3 could be?
It reminds me a scene of Ozark.
Who do you think is going to say the line?
Can you repeat that line?
Oh, yes, I will. So let's see. The line, since, the line is always said, is exactly the wrong time to get proud. I think it might be Young June.
I think it's Father.
No, I think it's somebody saying it to Young June.
Yeah, Perry probably.
But Perry went on
Perry's
his
on
quest.
Walkabout, but
who knows?
This could be a time jump. Remember,
I think it's Young June to Assam.
Really? Okay.
Oh no! I'm changing my answer.
Okay.
It's my ring to
Leon.
Leon.
My ring to meet.
Ooh.
Right.
Why to meet? Why?
Makes sense.
Okay.
She's like, your old ways ain't working.
Oh.
Okay.
All
right.
I mean, I'm good. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I swear.
I'm not.
Could be.
And I'm the oldest. I'm a kid, and I'm sticking with it.
Looks like an evil gnome laugh. I was trying to figure out what that was.
That was great. Well, if we have nothing else almost about this episode, let me remind all the viewers here, as a promotion thing, of course, that you can join us on our live broadcast, which I think we have officially now dubbed, if I can say this safely. Tuesdays will be our Tong Tuesdays. We will be doing our episodes on Tuesdays for our live broadcast, which are air on our official Facebook, which you can find. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram at The Hop This Way Show. It's both, of course. And if you unfortunately miss a live broadcast of our show, don't worry. We got you on our official YouTube channel where we have all of our episodes put right up there. So if you miss one, it's okay. The Hop This Way show, all you got to do is type it into the search bar. Please like, subscribe, enable notifications so that way we can actually change our fucking name to youtube.com/the Hop This Way show rather than the bullshit that we have currently. And then, you know, we are a visual show. We pride ourselves on a visual show. But if for some reason that, you know, there's not enough time in the day to sit for that hour or so where you can't watch the show, we are officially on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. The Hop This Way show. Search us. We pop up. We're the first ones that pop up. And you can listen to the show there and go do whatever you need to and multitask. Either way, no matter how you want to, you can listen to our show or watch our show. We're here. Enjoy. And we talk all things Warrior because we geek the fuck out when it comes to this shit.
Because we like to get this thing Awesome. Wow, it's like it's so hard with this because we're all inverted, so we're all going a different way.
Yeah, I was going to say that let's rehearsal this.
I don't know. Do you guys know what the Doppler effect is? Because I think I just saw it.
We're going. We have to go to each other's right to left. So
there,
like,
there.
Yeah.
Right to left.
Oh.
Right to left. You got to go your own personal right to left, and then it'll be the same way.
Okay, ready?
All right.
You have to say the line.
You're the only one that's off. Yeah, ready? We'll actually get it next week.
Okay, I don't need to have any smoke. I got my head going.
I'm ready for mine, so
good to know. Folks, we will be back next Tuesday with another review, and hopefully we'll have some guests for you. And you know what? I think maybe after the show we'll talk about it, and maybe we'll have a new segment or two for you too coming your way. But
I just knocked my phone.
From everybody here, for Mr. Money Matt Chua, whatever nickname we gave to him that was Nua Chua.
Chew America!
Chew America! That's not new.
No, it's my brand.
You know what? How about this? For Matt Chua, for Rebecca Nishi, for Stephanie Young Pratt, and Frank Zhang. I feel like I butchered all of that. It's Zeus. Anyways, have a great one, folks. We will see you next time.
Thanks for the support, everyone.
Thank you.